So today I'm going to install a pull timer I've been wanting to get for quite a while. It's a GE direct wire Z-Wave up to 40 amps. You can see on the box it's got a hot water tank pitcher and a pool. I've been wanting something for a while that I can turn on and off from my phone. It hooks up to any Z-Wave compatible device where you can control it from your phone or a PC or tablet. I have ADT Pulse at my house, so I just recently switched all of my light switches to the Pulse switches so that the lights will come on and off from anywhere. If the alarm on the house goes off, it turns every light in the house on. I just think it's a really good feature. You can set them up so that, you know, when I open the garage, when I come home, the inside garage lights come on. I shut the door, they go out 2 minutes later. It gives me a lot more light than just the overhead garage door motor. So these have been out for a while. The way I found out about the actual pull pump switch was when I bought the switch for the wall. This is a dimmer switch. This one's upstairs. It comes with this little packet, and I just opened it, took a look, and it shows the 40 amp switch there. The one above that, the outdoor smart switch, this one I had looked at as an option, but it's not supposed to have, I think it said the maximum was a half a horse and 600 watts. The pull pump is well over that. I mean, the pull pump's a horse and a half, and it's on a 20 amp breaker. So I want to install that, and this is more than likely wrong, but this is what I used. This was just a timer switch. You push it and it turns it on. You push it again, it turns it off. And you can set the times on there. There's like 7 different ways to program it based off the days. This is actually the second or third switch that I've put in. I actually think the pull pump was too much for the standard basic light switch, which was causing it to just burn the switch up. So you've seen a lot of the pull pump timers from, you know, in the past. They have the dial on them. This is a picture of one. They came out with these. I don't know how new they are, but I looked last swimming season because I don't run my pump 24/7. I did when I first had the pole put in. We're getting into our 6th year now, and I don't need to run it. Never did. Just didn't know how to go about, you know, putting the timer on it and what times. And as I learned more and got more familiarized with pumps, I wanted to put it on a timer. I mean, electric bill is outrageous if you run your pump 24/7. I run mine from 9:30 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night, about 10.5 hours a day. So during the day when the kids are in there swimming, I want the pump to be running so that it's filtering. At night, I don't think it needs to run because the water's not, nobody's in it. Sometimes when you put the chemicals in it, you do want it to run. Like usually when I shock it, I'll do that in the afternoon when the kids are all done. And instead of running all the way down here in the basement and pushing this button to turn the pump back on, I wanted to be able to do something from my phone to turn it on and off. We have one of the sprinklers that sprinkles water out on top of the pool. And when it kicks off, sometimes the kids are still in there swimming at 8 o'clock at night. They want to turn it back on. We can do that from our phone now. It looks like it's extremely simple. It was packed really well in this box. It came in bubble wrap, shrink wrap. Come with another one of the brochure manuals, an antenna cover, screws, some drywall anchors. The switch itself, I think, is really solid. It's you can put it outside if you want to. It's okay to be used outdoors. The way they did this by welding this on was pretty smart. That way there's no holes on the top down to allow water to seep inside of the box. You can put a lock on it if you want to through here. So if you have somebody that cleans your pool, a pool person or somebody that does that, they don't need to, they just push this and it'll turn the pump on, depending on how you have it set up inside here. Inside is the mechanism here. Here's where you're going to put your wires. They're numbered, really self-explanatory on the directions. Ground goes here. The switch up here, if you put it in the up position, the rocker switch, it runs 24/7. It's not going to shut off. You cannot control it from your phone or any smart device. Neutral position, it's off, cannot be turned on through phone, cannot be turned on by pushing this, which goes through the box, and this will poke that, which will turn it on. Put it down, then it's Z-Wave capable. Turn it on and off through Z-Wave or through the manual override switch. And then these are lights that will shine through here and tell you whether it's running or it's off. And it's as simple as that. So I'm going to pull out the old switch and install this one. So I got the old electrical switch off. These wires, these are 12 gauge wires. This is wire THHN. That's required by code, individual strands. You see those are individual, and then these are solid copper. This is just regular non-metallic 12-2 with a ground wire. The THHN, it stands for the thermoplastic high heat nylon. Takes up over 194 degrees to melt these down, so they're high heat. They're coated with nylon as opposed to vinyl, so they're really resistant to water. That's what you want on any outdoor application, but they frowned about having these individual strands get connected directly into these breakers. They would prefer that stay some sort of a solid copper, so that's why the switch here from that type of wire to this type of wire. So on this box, I'm going to knock out this side, knock out the bottom. I'm having a little bit of trouble. So you can see that's a little close to the actual electrical box. So to get that knockout here to set into that, it's going to push this. I'm barely going to have room to get the door open on this once I get that in there, but it's enough I can get in there and work. So we'll get that put on the wall, and I'm going to stick this in the bottom in one of these. So I have it installed, wired up, powers back onto the switch. So I'm going to pair it into my system. So I log into my account. I go into system, manage devices. This is going to be considered a switch. So you click on the switches, go down to add, click continue, and then it says it's entering Z-Wave learning mode. And then after that, it'll tell you to hit the pairing button to pair your device. Hit the include button, that's the button on the outside. Push that. Adding device might take a few seconds. Switch is added. I'm going to call it pool pump. Pool pump. Hit save. Now it's saved, and now it should be listed on here. pull pump with energy mode. So installing this, I mean, it's really easy, and it's easy peasy. You got your directions. You can actually do a 240 volt pump. If you have a 240 volt pump, these are the instructions for that. Mine is a 120 volt pump. These are the instructions for that. If you have two pumps, 120 volts, you can hook two pumps up of 120 volts, but you can't have two 240 volts. This is load monitored when you load up pump 1, and then this is load monitor if you have dual load and you want both your pumps monitored. So if you had the pull pump and then you had maybe some type of lights or something else that you didn't want monitored, I mean, there's 4 or 5 different options here to load this up. Red light means that you do have power. Switch is in the neutral position. You push it up, that means that you have power. If you push it down, it goes into Z-wave mode, and there's no power going to your pump until you actually turn it on. So I have my test light here. I'm in Z-wave mode. The yellow line is coming from the breaker. So the neutral wire coming from the breaker goes into spot 1. The black wire from the breaker goes into spot 2. The white wire from your pull pump switch or your pull pump outlet or the pull pump itself goes into 3, and the black wire from the pull pump goes into 4. This is the pull pump, and it is not lighting up because it's Z-wave enabled and it is turned off through Z-wave. If I push it up, my green light comes on, this will light up, so I have power. Push it down, no power to the pump. So now that I have it paired, when you have it in Z-wave mode, the switch stays in the down position. Red light will always be on, that tells you that you have power. When you go into your online portal, you see pull pump is listed. You click off, turn on. It'll switch to green and you'll hear it click. Now it's on. Confirms that it might take a second or two. You hit OK. You scroll back down. It shows the bulb is lit. We are in the laundry room. The lights are on. Turn off. Lights are off. OK. Laundry room light. Turn on. Laundry room lights are back on. Pull pump. Turn off. You'll hear it click. Light goes out, pull pump's off. And you can set this up the same as you can any of your other automations. For any other lights that you have, works the same way. You control it from your phone. So this is the setup I have outside for the pull pump. The wires come out of here down into the ground, 18 inches deep, and they come over to the outlet here. This is a three-prong twist plug. Twist plug was required by the code. Weatherproof housing, so when I plug it in, it doesn't get any water. On and off switch out here. Pump sits here on this black pad. And this is the ground for the pump, and then over here is the sand filter that sits there. So some of the pumps, I mean, I didn't know if they had on and off switches built into the pumps or not, so I put this on and off switch here. That way if it didn't, I wouldn't have to go all the way in or keep unplugging it to turn it on and off. It turns out the pump does have a switch that shuts it on and off. This is just a water pump. Plugs into here when I need to plug it in. So for winter storage, it'll pump water off the top of the pool. Pumps it off the top of the pool, pumps it through here into this, which goes into the downspout gutters and runs out onto the street. I mean, I've pumped probably 100 gallon off the top of the pool before. I don't want it all to puddle up in one spot. So thanks for watching.